Show and Tell Boston After Dark, and we are here with the all-female ladies MC panel here, and we're just gonna talk about hip hop and what inspires you, and just gonna do some dope shit. That's it. So my name is Cordelia, and I'm co-hosting tonight for my brother right here, Tata. Tata, say what's up.
What up?
And can you, everybody, go around, ladies and one gentleman, go around and introduce yourself and what you do?
My name is Brandi Blaze. I'm from Dorchester in the building.
Yeah.
And I'm a rapper.
All right.
My name is Shellz with a Z. I'm from Brockton, Massachusetts. And my mission is to spread love through art and music.
All right.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're good. Yo, what it do? Come meet the family. It's your boy, Most Generous. I'm an artist, actor, producer, curator, the whole bang.
Yo, it's your girl Chinks. You know what it is. Entrepreneur, self-made.
Don't be shy. What's going on? Let's go, Big Two. Let's go.
The artist formerly known as Kiki Banks, K2.
All right. Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. And so we're just gonna sit and talk about just hip hop and just have some fun. So I want to know, Brandi, what inspired you to become an artist?
Well, I've been a performer my entire life. I've been performing since I was 3 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the life chose me. No.
Yeah.
And I've just always been just enthralled with music in particular.
Mm-hmm.
My dad sings and my mother is a writer.
Uh-huh.
So kind of makes sense that I'm a rapper.
Okay.
I wanted to be a singer, but I don't have any singing ability,
Okay.
which is kind of like a problem. So I started as a poet and then I
Shout out to
started
all my
rapping
poets. Yes.
and here I am.
Yes. So now, what moment was it, or what were your parents listening to in the home that made you want to become a hip hop artist? Who were they listening to? And what was the moment where you were like, "Oh my God, I think I can do that"?
So I was raised by my mother,
Okay.
single parent. My dad lived kind of far away from us. One thing that was really special about my mother, and I see now how progressive this was, she didn't censor any music I listened to.
Okay.
I could listen to anything I wanted to.
That's cool.
So I had a record player in my room as a kid, and I would listen to like Slick Rick and Tina Marie and the Mary Jane Girls.
Okay.
I was a huge DMX fan,
Okay.
a huge Kim fan, which now looking back, I was like, I don't think anyone's parents will ever be that progressive because I was young.
Yeah. You should have been
But
listening.
I think her thing was, I don't want to censor the content that you consume, but we can talk about it and help you process it. So I just had this love of hip hop and R&B, and she just surrounded me in black music.
Yes.
Like the SOS band, the Gap band,
yeah.
Isley Brothers. That was her thing.
I like your mom.
Yo, she was the coolest. Like, she would take me to concerts. Like, she took me to see Real Boston. She took me to see New Edition.
Okay. Shout out to New Edition. Shout out to
She took me
Roxbury.
to see the original when he was Puff Daddy, the No Way Out tour. She
Okay.
took me to that. Like, and I was like 10 and she took me. And she just was like, she just wanted to always nurture things in me. She didn't want to spoil me with things. She spoiled me with experiences. So I got to try anything I wanted to do. Like, I played a bunch of sports. Like I said, I started performing at 3, but I was a cheerleader. I did martial arts. I played soccer. I played lacrosse. Like, I did acting. I did pageants. Like, I did like, she was just like, you want to try it? Let's do it. I'm going to find the money. Let's do it.
So now, do you remember your first rhyme?
No. But I know it's probably somewhere because my mom kept so many things. I remember the first rhymes I would write were in high school.
Yeah.
And me and my friends would write raps to each other.
Uh-huh.
This is like 2000, so we would like we would write like to the tune of. So we would like write out what song we were writing it to.
Can I tell you my first rhyme?
Yes,
My
please.
first rhyme was B-ball is my game and that's known everywhere. So let's go down to the court so we can play it there. I will dribble the ball all around the court and make you feel like you can't play any sport. And that was really like,
Old
I
school.
was like 6 or 7. I still remember it because me and my sister were jamming. Anyway, yabba dabba do rhyme. I told you I rap yabba dabba do, but anyways, so it's all good. Listen, it's all good. At least I remember mine. You
See, you doing good.
So now, Miss Cakes. Miss Cakes.
Shellz.
Miss Shellz.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Shellz. Now, I'm going to ask you the same question now.
Yeah.
What got you started into hip hop? Like, what was the moment that inspired you? And, like, what was that moment? And you're like, you know what? I think I can be an MC.
I was in 7th grade. I always was around music because of church. So from the beginning, I've been in a choir, kids choir, just all types of rehearsals of French and different languages. But when I was in 7th grade, Hot 97 came to my junior high.
Oh,
and
nice.
it was crazy because I was this little black girl with an afro, whatever. And they was like, okay, whoever can answer this question gets the new Missy Elliott album. And I don't even remember the question, but somehow, some way, he picked me out of the whole 7th grade and 8th grade that I think was in the auditorium. And I got that album, and I played that CD over and over and over and over again. And then coming to Lauryn Hill, when she did her collaboration with Bob Marley, Turn the Lights Down Low, I literally pressed pause and play to get every single word of her rap so I could learn it from beginning to end. And I think that's where I started to develop a flow.
You know what's crazy? I'm gonna tell you something. I've been listening to Turn Your Lights Down Low for like the past 3 nights. I don't know what's going on. But that's so funny you said that. But like she was jamming. Yeah.
But that rap, like that was I would say me teaching myself how to rap without me realizing it, because I would pause and play how do I, because at the time there was no AZ Lyrics computer at home to go look that up. I had to, play, pause, and guess that she's saying whatever she's saying, and then learn the rap from beginning to end. So I think that's where I kind of started deciding, I want to be a female artist. Because I love to sing, I love to try different languages and different things. So it's not just hip hop, but that was my introduction. Hip hop is my introduction to becoming an MC.
Okay.
And Missy Elliott was the first inspiration?
I think so, because that was before Turn Your Lights Down Low came out, because I was living in 2 different homes when that happened. Oh, sorry. I was living in 2 different homes, so I remember when I was in 7th grade, we were still in an apartment, and then when I heard Turn Your Lights Down Low for the first time, I was at my house, our single family house. So it was like, one of those things happened first, and it was definitely that Missy Elliott So Addictive album that I won in 7th grade, and I was like, I want to be like this black woman.
Okay. All right. Most generous.
You said me? I'm not no female.
Okay, no, but I'm saying, but still, bad girl, come on.
All right, go ahead,
K2. I'm talking to you. What was the moment that you decided that you want to be a hip hop artist? Or like, what was the the same question. Like, what was that moment where you're like, you know what, I can be an MC, I can do this?
Like Brandi, I love Slick Rick. I grew up on Slick Rick.
Yeah.
It was the storytelling for me.
Yeah.
I loved to listen to his rhymes and just go along like what's gonna happen next.
Yeah.
Like, and he's rhyming with it, and it's interesting and it's funny. And for that moment, it's taking me out of what I'm in right now, and it's taking me to another place. And I like that about music. That music had the ability to take you somewhere else. So. That was my outlet a lot growing up, writing. I was the little girl with the notebook all the time. I didn't have a lot of friends when I was like really young because I moved around so much. But I definitely had my notebook and I would write. And it started with poetry. I used to write short stories. I used to write everything, journal about what happened for the day. And then like somewhere along the road, I just started to write rhymes like here and there. And it's kind of weird. I even had one moment where I used to just write words that rhymed or words that sounded like each other. And I would have a notebook full of words that just sounded like each other. Like, it was odd. Like, I grew up in a West Indian household. So a lot of time my punishment was like, read the encyclopedia. You know, you take your book from morning, like go, you know, get a book, sit down, do a book report, do this. So like I had notebooks full of like different things, just anything you could think of.
And one thing I wanted to ask you guys, like, how do you guys feel about the music scene in Boston, especially for when it comes to female MCs?
Progressive.
Progressive.
Oh yeah.
You want to elaborate on that?
I remember when I was younger, before I even had like the gumption, or not gumption, what is it, the confidence to put my music out or even tell people I like to rap. There wasn't a lot of female rappers. We had Bay Holla, we had Chic, we had Animosity, we had Miss Aquarius, and we had Madam Cruz. And not to say,
shout out to Madam Cruz.
You know,
shout out to Madam Cruz. She's dope. I met her at an event, a DJ Mark Maron's event, because they had
shout out to Mark Maron.
Yeah. And I met
Motivated
her,
Mondays.
and she's dope. She is dope, but I hope, so I know her. Shout out to you.
Yeah, so, I mean, there was that community, but it wasn't like a big backing behind it. It was one of those things like, if you knew, you knew. If you were interested, you knew. Whereas now it's like you have no choice but to pay attention. You will hear these names, you will see these faces. You know, technology is much more advanced now as well. So sometimes you might see the I don't know what it's called. I'm so old. I call it commercials, but you see the little not subscriptions, but you know you see this sponsored ads that come up, and you're gonna see these faces. You're gonna hear these names. I feel like there's more of a community now, where before it was like male dominated, you know, and those, like, the men had the bigger names, and you just so happened to hear about a woman here and there that was sprinkled into a mixtape. And even then, when we had mixtapes, it was like one or two women. It wasn't like a whole album of women. And I think, like, not only that, but you see more women supporting each other. So it'll be like one woman doing the show, she's bringing along somebody else. Like, I got to meet Shellz through doing music. I did a open mic, and we had like a few performances. Red Shades came through, she performed, and Thomas was there.
Shout out Red Shades.
And we opened it up to the community for people to come through. So it was just like, I met Shellz that one time, and we just had a bond since then. So it was just like actually being in a space to like
She
be
killed that show,
empowered.
by the way. That
Thank
show
you.
was fire.
Thank you. And I was so like uncomfortable with like being in that position. I didn't know how to put a show together. I have been going through so much stuff in my personal life. Like, someone just asked me, like, well, how was the last 3 years? Like, the last 3 years has been very chaotic, but like, I'm finding peace in the storm, and I'm figuring out like everything happens for a reason, you know? But that's the show, I just like threw it together. I had actually just got out of jail right before I did that show.
You had a leg injury,
I
and
don't know if you
she
saw
still
it.
killed it.
I had a contusion in my foot. I had a leg brace on at
But
the
she
show.
had a heel on the other
Yeah,
foot.
I had
and
one heel on,
looked so
one
good.
leg thing. It was a mess. It was, yes, and I didn't know how I was hobbling
But she
across the
could rap.
stage.
Hell yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
rap was
That's a vibe.
Period.
That should be a style. Everyone should get a leg brace.
that show must go on.
So now, as a female MC, I want to know what female MC like is your, like, who do you look up to as your I don't know, maybe I don't want to say idol, but like, who is the female MC that when your role model? I'm gonna go with Roxanne Shante. I always go with Roxanne Shante. I love Roxanne Shante since I was a little girl. I just always thought she was a superhero, and it's funny now she's just starting to get her props, like. And I think, like, I want to say, I really want to say, I don't know if this is a fact. I want to say probably that Roxanne Shante was probably one of the female artists. I want to say to go platinum. I might be wrong, or maybe gold or whatever. But she was the first, like, female rapper that was making a lot of noise. Because she was like this young girl out there battling like UTFO.
Yo, she
And
made
she
Nas.
was- she
Literally said, yo, if you can't spit for me,
Can
you're
I
trapped.
stop
Go
you?
ahead, go ahead.
Nas, I love you. I do this all the time. It's becoming a thing, and I love you, Nas. And you did that.
Add
You set
him.
it up so I could
Yo,
dunk it.
yo, Nas, please answer her DMs, please.
Right.
But no, but I would say Roxanne Shante definitely was like a superhero, like, and then and you know what's crazy? Like, she was one of the first female, because you know we always hear about men battle rapping, men going against each other, having like hip hop beef. Roxanne, now I'm gonna take y'all way back. Get your dictionary, get your encyclopedia, start googling. Roxanne Shante and Sparky D were one of the first female hip hop, like, what is it?
I was
It was like they were the first hip hop beefs, female hip hop beefs.
What?
It was Roxanne Shante and Sparky D, and then the second big hip hop female battle. Google it again, look it up. Was Antoinette and MC Light. All my hip hop heads, will know these beefs. If you're a real hip hop head, you know these beefs I'm talking about.
Who from
Look
the
it up.
chosen shall I choose?
Nah, MC Light and Antoinette were doing a hip hop beef, but the first one was definitely Roxanne Shante and Sparky D. But yeah, yeah.
For you.
Okay, I have 3. I won't talk about it forever.
Okay, you can.
But the first is Dutch Rebel.
Okay.
Oh, shout out Dutch.
She is the first female rapper I ever saw here. I didn't even know like there was a female rap. Just like, you know, you were talking about like we didn't know about these women. She was my introduction to female rap here, and she's just to this day like just demolishes everything. Like I won't even talk about how embarrassing it was when I first met her because I probably embarrassed myself a little bit. And then I freaked out the first time she remembered my name.
What'd you do?
I was just like gushing. Like I just love you. Like I know she's like, hi. Like, I'm like, no, but for real. Like I just adore her. And, you know, now that's the homie. So I just love her. And then next would be Kim and Missy. Okay. Kim just grabbed a hold of me just for the first time I heard her, and like having like the deeper voice. I'm a girl that has a deeper voice, so hearing that was like incredible. And then Missy was the first time I saw a female rapper that looked like me, that was a bigger girl. Everyone was always, you know, model pretty slim. Like her and Queen Latifah was like, oh, girls that look like me can rap too. We could do this too. We could be sexual too. We could be open too. And kill it. Like, so those 3 is just like, that's part of my Mount Rushmore.
Okay, so for me, I already shouted out Missy, so I'm gonna use that as a 1, but she's definitely a major influencer. I would say Lauryn Hill, EVE.
Eve, I love
and
Eve. Yeah. Not about Eve.
We'll
Question, man.
just do EVE and Lauryn Hill because I really try to emulate Lauryn for sure. Like I taught myself how to rap by trying to rap like her.
Yeah.
So that was a major role model for me. I'm going to piggyback off of Brandi. For my area, Massachusetts, Dutch Rebel was the first female artist that I recognized in my generation.
Me too.
And it's like, I'm also Haitian American, and in our family, you want to tell your parents you want to be a rapper.
Oh, damn.
Like, the way they're going to look at you is like,
you're
okay,
crazy.
so what did I have you for? So ultimately, seeing Dutch Rebel was literally a light bulb. Like, oh, she could do it, I could do it too. Mind you, I was already in ciphers with my brothers and his friends, doing lots of other music things. But watching her do it, then meeting her, because my brother's frat brother was like her first marketing rep, and they was doing a lot of work. And I'm like, wow, they're really doing this. And then I went away for college, and I promise you, 2008, I started this email to Dutch. I'm like, yo, I just want you to mentor me in teaching because I really want to release music, but I don't even know where to begin. And it never sent. 10 years later, we have a song and a music video release.
There you go.
Okay.
See, God was listening.
Since 2008. And I was like, okay, like I went to college, what my parents wanted me to do.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, like I have no idea how I'll ever be in a position to work or do something like Dutch Rebel, but she's such a pioneer over here for me and other women just like me that she definitely needs her flowers now.
Okay. So now, Chicks, who's your favorite female MC?
I'm gonna be the devil's advocate here.
Okay.
Honestly, I honestly don't really have a sincere one.
No.
No, I don't. No, I don't like. No, I really don't have like. I love different genre of music, but honestly, like what I fell in love with what first was R&B before hip hop, and I honestly was into like Soul for Real and New Edition.
Yes!
And like I was into that like 90s era.
Yeah.
So and then after a while, I got into like hip hop, but like when that was hip hop, when I got into hip hop, I like like the Tupac, the Biggie Smalls and stuff like that. But then it, like when I really got into like little lyrics and stuff, it was like Lil Wayne and stuff like that. So I mean, but to be honest, I'm really like a R&B freak.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know. I was just influenced very differently.
Okay.
So
That's
I'm not one of those persons that like have this like everybody, for instance, everybody loves Beyonce.
Yeah.
But I'm like Beyonce.
You like what you like, and there's nothing wrong with that.
But yeah, I'm like all over the place in my music, so I'm a little different with it. So.
Nice.
What about you?
For me, growing up, it was definitely Lauren. I loved Kim because she was just liberated. She was like the first person to say the P word, not the first, but she was like out there. Yeah. Like, I'm saying this, it's mine. I'm talking about it. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do with it. And she had confidence. She was strong. And like, that's something that I kind of like wavered with, like growing up. Like I wanted confidence. I wanted to be strong. I wanted to be secure in my sexuality, especially like getting older and like, going through maturity and figuring out some things. So it was just like Kim was it, and Erykah Badu. Like she's a singer, but she spits.
She started out as a rapper.
Yeah,
she started out as an MC.
For me,
yeah.
So I have a really controversial question, and it's relating to like what y'all said about like sexuality, how Kim like she basically like liberated, and was like, how you say, like she was comfortable in her skin, like being, sexually, provocative, but also beautiful and elegant and whatnot. So like I wanted to ask, so when it comes to sexuality, especially in hip hop, which is like male dominated, like do you feel like you're restricted or when it comes to like displaying your sexuality or putting it in your music, or do you feel like you have to work harder, or you have to basically say fuck all that, like I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and you're not gonna slow my grind? If that makes sense, I don't know if it.
You want it?
Okay. So I knew why it came to me. Because I'm very nasty. I already knew. I always felt like when I decided to do this seriously, I just knew from the beginning that I was just going to do what I wanted to do. And I was just like, no one's going to change it. A lot of people didn't see it at first. A lot of people didn't get it. A lot of people explicitly told me that it would never work because of the way that I look. And that made me want to do it even more. Just as a plus size woman, a lot of times when you see depictions of plus size women, it's a joke, or they're the sassy best friend, or they never have a love interest. They're like depicted almost as asexual. And I knew that that's not the case, judging by my DMs. Okay.
Go get him started.
No.
I'm not going to do that with Instagram. He's in love with Instagram. But anyway, go ahead.
So I just knew that I wanted to express myself and have ownership of my body and have ownership of my sexuality. It was important because of the way that I look, but also it was important for me as a trauma survivor as well. And having that experience of having someone else take ownership or control of your body in a way that is one of the most painful things you can experience, it was even more important for me to express my sexuality the way that I wanted to, and that I have complete ownership and control of. I think the problem comes sometimes when people pigeonhole you as being able to do one thing, but not to be cocky or nothing, but I know I can rap, and I know I can do anything. I can rap about anything. And I feel like if you listen to my albums, that's really apparent that I can do anything. Now, do I get known for certain songs? Absolutely. But that's not who I am as an artist. I am a complete artist. I can talk about anything, and I talk about what's true to me and what I've experienced in my life. I don't rap about anything that's not real to me. You won't hear me on a song talking about I'm pushing a Maybach when I know I got a Civic.
Right.
Like, it don't go like that.
Right.
Like, I'm going to be talking about my baby. That's my little coat. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Like, but I just want to do what's right for me, and I make music for Black women. If everyone else enjoys it, that's beautiful. I love that other people enjoy it. But my main goal is to make music for Black women that feels good for Black women. And whether that's we're crying, whether that's we turning up, whether that's we twerking, whether we're being like, yo, you're not going to disrespect me. That's who I make music for, because that's who I am.
Wow.
I definitely want to ask you, because you came from Haitian American.
Oh yeah.
So that must be exposing like sexuality and stuff like that. That's gonna be like different. For
Yeah, I definitely censor myself a lot, for sure. Like, I just released a music video, Sunkissed, and I was in a bikini.
Fire.
When I tell you guys, I had that video for so long, but I literally I showed it to a few people like that I care about. Like, how do you feel about this? Do you think it's too sexual? Like, dude, you're in a bathing suit. It's like, I know, but I'm in a bathing suit, and I've never done that before. And it's not something I want my dad to watch at all. But I censor myself because of my cultural background. I have a lot of learned behavior that restricts me from being as sexually free as I would want to, especially around my brother, who I make music with. It's a little weird. I'm not gonna be like, I can't say certain things, or I'll say it in a different way. You know, I use metaphors and different things to make it appropriate. I even kind of stopped cursing in my music too, just to and I just feel like, even though I feel like I'm censoring myself, I'm still being authentic to me and the way I was raised. And unfortunately, there are some parts of me that I would say are a little bit rigid, because I can already hear my mom's head talking to me or my dad's head talking to me before I make certain decisions. So I'm still learning. I've been an artist for a little bit of time now, and I feel like even with presentation, I could open up a little bit, but it's gonna take me some time. But Brandi was one of the first rappers over here that I seen on the floor. The confidence is just, it's almost contagious.
Yeah.
Because she definitely does. I'm her target market. But, you know, I just feel like it's a little bit tough for me being Haitian American, and culturally, I definitely do find myself saying, oh, no, that's inappropriate, or this and this. But it is some learned behavior that I'm working to go past.
That makes sense.
Oh, what about you, Kiki?
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
I'm on like both sides of the coin. I definitely have like a couple of like, you know, sexual songs. I've noticed though, like for me, where I'm growing into, I've been like more like sexually explicit, just because I have this one. She listens to a lot of my music. She says a lot of things that I say. She wants to do what I do, and I often tell her like, I'm grown and you're not. And this is a conversation that I had with my grandmother before she passed, when my grandmother was like, you know, you need to tone it down even in the music. She said, you know, you don't want it to get to a point where she's mimicking you and idolizing you. And I'm just like, do as I say, not as I do, because that's what I grew up on. Do as I say, not and she's like, yeah, you say that now until the teachers are calling you. And I actually had a moment where the teachers were calling me, and they're like, your daughter said to us, are you dumb? And I was just like, and I was just like, it's starting. So like, I'm growing up in this process, and I'm like censoring myself, but I definitely have like things where I speak freely. And you know, like Brandi's mom, you know, I have those conversations later on with her where I explain to her, I waited all my life to be grown, honey. Like, I waited all my life to be grown. And I even had moments where I grew up too fast, and I had to pay the repercussions of that. You know, there's a consequence for everything. Like, just be 12, please, you know? Please don't be like mommy and know that mommy's still growing. Like, I'm still growing up, like, through her, through life, you know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of kids that went through certain things as a child or were parentified as a child, it kind of flips this switch in your head where we didn't really get that childhood, like, and we kind of stay stagnant in certain ideas and beliefs. So I feel like there's a part of me that's going back there and just reprogramming some things and uprooting some things and like planting new seeds. And where like Shellz, like I say certain things were metaphors or similes or, you know, things where you know what I'm talking about if you know what I'm talking about. But for the children, they have no idea. You know what I mean? So like I'm just growing into that place. But I don't mind the sexual talk, you know, to a degree. I'm at a place where I don't think we should weaponize it anymore. You know what I mean? Because there's definitely some women that weaponize our sexuality. And
I know I've always like with my hip hop, I've always like in a female MC and a lady MC, woman MC, I don't know who. I always like I said, like as crazy as it is, I always like just like female rappers that just go hard and have like dope lyrics. MC Light definitely for me, she goes hard. Eve. Definitely, she's my type of MC. Like, I love Eve. Eve gets slept on. Well, she doesn't get slept on, but I think people kind of forget about. Yeah, like people kind of don't really give Eve her props. Eve goes hard. Eve is like she's definitely like the style. I like her style. The Philly, the Philly thing. I do like Eve's style. The way she dresses. It's like it fits. Hip-hop. It fits her flow. It fits who she is. Who else?
I want to say
she's not hip hop. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say like shout out to Lil Kim and like Foxy Brown era where where they were like, you know, exposing that derogatory, like not derogatory, but like very raw, like lyric. You know like what I'm saying?
They were more, they were more
raw
like
with it, and they were just letting it open, and it was like that first like, oh snap,
like what's
talking
that?
About
like
opening
that
pussy lips and stuff, and I ain't scared about the dick and all that, like, you know, like she's just getting all deep with it. So like that a lot of I feel like a lot of like, well, when I talk to like my parents, because you know they grew up in that era, the 90s era, they were saying like, you know, around that time, a lot of people was just like, "Yo, what's going on?"
It was dope.
Female on the radio,
but it was dope. But it was dope at the same time.
It's like, and I feel like they gave that platform for like Nicki Minaj and Cardi B and every like today's artists to have that that exposure where they're saying certain things that you couldn't really talk about back then. You know what I mean? Like openly. So I'm like, shout out to them. You know.
I was gonna ask, when like a lot of men like criticize like female MCs, it's like, oh, she's just gonna talk about her WAP, or female, which call it rap, is just so over sexualized. Do you guys think like they're just being like hypocritical and just to shut up, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
Definitely, because when you're talking about money, cash, hoes,
it's
good. It's all good. It's on the radio. You're pushing it. We have a million bajillion songs about money, cash, hoes. Y'all can't get enough of it. Y'all put out a whole album about money, cash, hoes. You don't even have any money, cash, hoes. Like, and that's all you're giving us. Like, yes, it's definitely a double standard.
Oh yeah.
You know? And it's like, it's a lack of focus on self. It's like you're so mad at yourself that you can't talk about something more diverse, that you want to point the finger at someone who's doing the exact same thing that you're doing. You have a problem with that. Like, it's misogyny at its best.
Wouldn't you say that like, so men would be exploiting women, and then they would say that women are just like exploiting themselves? Because like men aren't making songs like, yeah, I'm helicoptering, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Or I'm long and whatever. You know what I mean?
They do. They talk about their dick all the time.
Yeah, I'm not hearing these songs.
I put this long dick in her. They say all that shit.
Yeah, I don't be
in her
listening
mouth.
I don't listen to
Fuck on my knob.
I
Point
want
on the
a
cob.
knob.
Check it with me and do your job. Pussy is ready to go.
I stand corrected. I stand corrected.
They like it.
I'm trying to
Okay, well, what about this? Nigger is a term, or nigga is a term of endearment. So I feel like in the same situation, it's like men are oppressive. Like, and it gets to the point where it's like, we want to say F you to the oppressors. And it's not just a black or white thing anymore. Now it's a male-female thing. Or now it's a straight gay thing. Or now it's this, or cis this, or, you know what I mean? Now it's to the point where it's like, the underdogs always want to stick it back to the oppressor. So it's like, you're telling me that this is demonized. Well, I'm going to take control of what's mine, and I'm going to turn it into something else. Now it's not this, it's empowering. Like, you know, now we're not being exploited and hypersexualized. Now we're controlling the narrative of it.
And reclaiming.
You know, exactly.
All right, so would you agree that, like, because I remember Megan Thee Stallion, you know, like when she, you know, her and Cardi B had WAP, everybody was like in an uproar, you know, like would you say like her intentions are aligned with like empowerment in a way, or do you think that it was like opportunistic?
I don't think they were lying at all in the
No,
song.
I wasn't saying she was lying.
So no, I'm just saying,
Good and
like,
dry.
if I could understand if it was, you know, if it was fictional sexualization, but if they really think that you need to get a mop for whatever they have, they can go ahead and confidently say that. What's the problem? Where's the lie?
Yeah, you gotta get mop because it was so wet. You didn't know that?
That's a great,
She was caught cleaning
great
though.
bar.
She was caught cleaning though. She was lying.
But it's music. It's music, and I think if it's, and it was a hit. It's very catchy. The people who didn't want to be singing it was singing it. Like, I think it's okay for them to make that type of music. What's wrong with it?
Yeah, like Ben Shapiro was over here singing like the lyrics. It's this white dude. He's like a conservative, and he was just literally like saying like the lyrics word for word, bar for bar. Like he was just feeling discussion. I'm like, bro, like that's not your culture. Like you're,
Yeah.
like stay over there. Like go fetch Biden or something. Like don't come over here with that shit, right? So like, but yeah.
But there was like a large. There's probably like more conservative, like black people that were saying, "Oh, these lyrics are destroying our community."
There are other
like
things.
Candace Owens and like.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of it was a lot of backlash that was coming from it from both sides, from not just white people but also black people that were saying like, "Oh, this is how we look to white people," which I think is.
But
like,
who
kinda
cares
cool.
what we look like to them?
I think poverty is destroying our community.
Right.
I
Yeah.
think
I
the
think-
opiate crisis is destroying our community.
Politics is destroying our community.
I think the fact that we get the first edition books when they're on the 10th edition is destroying our community. Like, you know, right.
I also feel like people that were mad about that song were mad about the sample. Like, honestly, that's what I feel like got people really mad. Because on the original, if it's men being like, there's some hoes in this house, no one has a problem with it.
Right.
I feel like if they did that exact same song on a different beat, nobody would have blinked.
Okay.
It was because of that sample that people were like, and these women are doing what? Like what are you talking about? Like, and I'm like, the song isn't even that bad. Like, shout out to Cake Swag. Me and her did a remix to it. My verse
She was
is
supposed to be
1,000 times worse than anything they said. It's way worse. I was like, it's way nasty. I was like, that was tame, bro. I was like, did y'all hear what I said? It's way worse, but it's like people don't want us to reclaim anything. If we're being degraded, it's cool. If it's us having reclaiming and talking about our own things, it's a problem. Like, even when we're being sexual, we're talking about things, it's automatically assumed that we're doing it for the male gaze. And I'm like, and that's how I know they're not listening to us. You listen to Megan Thee Stallion, you think she's doing that to impress men? She's talking about robbing them.
Oh my God.
She's not making the music for them. She's making it for us. Same thing, like, I'm not doing this to impress no man. Because if you listen to what I said, you would know.
So now
it's not for you.
So now, what do your significant others think of you doing hip hop?
Who?
Like your significant others. What do you think? If you're in a relationship, if you're in a relationship, what do they think about? What do they think about you doing hip hop? Are they supportive?
I typically do not date people that do music.
Okay.
That's an intentional choice.
Okay. We just had this
because you see what happened to Mary J and all these other amazing, incredible, powerful black women, and then the man want to get involved in their business. No, I'm like, I need a civilian. Like, you stay home, I go do what I do, and then when I come home, I'm Brandi.
Yeah.
When I'm out here, I'm Brandi Blaze, and I need you to be at home and let me be Brandi Blaze. Okay. And when I come home, I'm Brandi. Like, I need that separation because, and I feel like especially, and I feel like y'all probably understand what I'm saying too, as women, if we are in the same industry but I succeed more than you, it becomes a problem. It becomes a problem because then ego comes into play. Because I'm the man and I rap too, so why are you getting this and why are you getting that? But I'm not getting it. No, we're going to nip that in the bud. I don't want it. Leave me alone. You rap, leave me alone. I don't want an artist. You can't draw. I don't want nothing. Like, go.
Me too. I love artists.
Leave me alone. I don't want you to paint. Leave me alone. No.
Not even karaoke?
Nothing. Stay home. My ex was a chef. Great. Be a construction worker. Be a teacher. You can't even paint houses. I don't want no parts. I don't want no parts.
What happened, Brandi? So, wait, what happened to Brandi? Something happened. What happened? Who did it? Who did it?
Yo, and you
We're
know what?
They
watching you,
always
son.
say
Who
artists
did it?
shouldn't date
But
artists.
you know what the
though.
crazy
They
thing
always
is?
say that.
Nobody did it. It came from, you know what? I'm going to keep it a buck. I used to be in a collective with all men.
Okay, here we go.
That alone was enough just to be with them in a completely platonic situation. But they treated me, I was one of the team. I was one of the gang. So I'm in a group chat with them and I see how they talk. Absolutely not. No.
Wait, a lot of locker room talk?
Yeah, but you know, I'm one of the boys to them. So they included me in it, and it was a lot of arguments and a lot of things behind the scenes because I would get so fed up. It was so misogynistic. It was so ridiculous that I was like, I could never have this in my home. I don't want no parts of it, and I really do compartmentalize my life. Like, who I am as Brandi Blaze, that's Brandi Blaze. Who I am at home with my family is Brandi. Who I am when I'm at work is Brandi. It even like my social media presence, that's Brandi Blaze. If I didn't rap, I wouldn't have social media at all. I would just be off the grid, just living my life. So I don't like that intersection of my business and my personal. It has to stay separate for my own sanity. It has to be like that because I have to be me at home.
So what about you?
In my experience, I feel like your partner definitely just kind of has to be separate. However, in my experience, I feel like my partner loves the music, loves the culture, just hates the industry, and the male domination and the trust issues, the smoking mirrors. There's like a protection portion behind that. And he's very self-made, so it's like everything gotta be, you know, such and such wants to offer you money. Why? You could make that yourself. You could do this yourself. Da, 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 da. He's very he's brilliant. So ultimately, I think that a lot of the things that I was able to accomplish, and he's my muse. So the music.
Oh, let's talk about the muse. Okay, I'm sorry. So I have a muse.
Being a muse for me is a bad thing.
No,
It's a terrible thing. You don't want to be my muse because you are getting dragged.
I had a muse. Let me tell you something. I'm not gonna go. I had a muse. He's not my muse anymore. But when I was living in California, I had a songwriting partner, and so that was definitely like a muse of mine at that time. Like, we just made like really dope music, and he's still doing this thing. I'm not gonna get too much of that because people are nosy and they start looking on the internet trying to figure out who I'm talking about. Y'all know who I'm talking about, and you won't even figure that out.
Oh, no.
But he was definitely like a good muse. Sometimes it is good to have a muse. You know, so I dig the
Being
muse.
my muse is not always a good thing. It's not always a good thing. There's a lot of R&B heartbreak songs that are amazing songs. I love those songs. So, but there was things that happened in my personal life that inspired those records. I Will Be Enough for me. So, you know, you got to kind of, as an artist, you get caught up in your personal life and it affects your music.
That's true.
And that's with anything you do.
Yeah.
That's with anything you do. So, like, For me, I have gotten the most support from my significant other. And I think that if you are going to have one, it has to be aligned with what you need. I need somebody completely separate. That's what you need. I need somebody at every show. That's what you need. But it's like you got to understand that people can't be at every show. And your shows are to meet new people. It's not necessarily, you can't hold expectations on people to, oh, no, you have to be there for me. Like, no, you have to understand people could support you from where they are.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's how that has affected me in hip hop. Hip hop, the music, everything's great, but the industry.
So now,
That makes sense.
so now, what about you?
Oh, I have two more.
Oh, no answer.
No answer.
My experience with dating, I'm gonna be quite honest, it's been very difficult. I've like hated Kiki Banks because of dating a lot. A lot of my experience has been like people see Kiki Banks and it's like this, like this, like this, like this, and then they finally get a chance to be with me and it's like, don't do this, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, or you think you're this, you think this, you think that.
Try to break
or
your self-esteem.
It's always been it's always been an ego trip. It's always been control. And I definitely played a part in a lot of that. I feel like once the wig comes off and it's like they see Kiana, it's like, oh, this is not who I thought it was, but this is still who everybody else thinks it is, and I can play puppet master, so that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm not in that place like anymore. Like I'm not in that place romantically. I'm not in that place mentally, emotionally, spiritually anymore. So I'm glad for that. But a lot of the reasons why I step away from social media a lot, because a lot of people always say this, like, you're going hard, you're going hard, you're going hard, and then we never see you. You're going hard, then we never see you. And it's like, what's going on? Mental health is going on.
Right.
Addiction is going on. Battling demons is going on. Self-esteem issues is going on. It's like, wow, you have really low self-esteem for someone with such a big ego. Like, like dealing with that type of stuff, having to balance being a single mom, and even that, being a single mom, working, going to school, and dating, like, and then doing music, like, having someone that understands all of that without feeling like they're doing you a favor, like, a favor, like, and for me, it's so many layers to that. Right now, I'm in a really good place. I don't know where I'm at relationship-wise. I'm going to be quite honest.
Yeah, sometimes you don't need one. Sometimes you just got to fall back and just live your life.
Do that asexual thing for a bit.
Sometimes
Honestly,
you do.
I've been celibate for a while now.
Sometimes
and that's
you
another
do.
reason it's like, what are we doing? Because I feel like most men in relationships, they equate sex with love. So it's like once you take a step back from sex, they're like, is everything still good? Like, are we still good? Do you still want me? And then it's like, do I still want you? Because a lot of things start to clear up once you separate physically. Like, sometimes when you're intertwined physically, I don't know where you end and I begin. Like, it's like I begin to talk like you. I begin to like, your little jokes become funny, or like little things like that, or sayings that you say I find myself saying, or vice versa. And I want my jokes back from like a lot of brothers that's out there.
Yeah, seriously.
I want my jokes back because I don't want any other woman talking like me. It's weird. It's very weird.
Don't be weird. It's weird. It's weird.
Quick story. I was dating a guy. He was dating another sister. Somebody told me her name. They said, oh, she knows all about you. So I said, she knows all about me. I said, well, I need to know who she is. And I got on the internet. And I'm like, we're already friends. How are we already friends on here? I'm like, you just, especially as an artist, you're just accepting stuff on Facebook. Like, whatever. I'm going through her pictures.
Oh.
Every style, every wig that I had, she had it like after. It was just like, it was like a Lifetime movie.
I know what that's about. Yeah.
It was a Lifetime movie. Like
Single white lady.
And it's one of those things like, and it's nothing to me. Like, it was kind of like weird for me, but like, I feel like sometimes men do that to women.
He's putting
men
a plug in her
do
ear
that
about you.
to
He's
women.
like, you know what he's doing? What he's doing is he's behind the scenes like, yeah, my ex-girl, she does this, she rhymes, she's dope, and he's making her feel insecure.
Yeah.
And then she's like, what does she do? So then she's just basically mirroring you.
Yeah.
She's just trying to mirror you. You know what? That's crazy. Like, but that happens a lot though. Like, and it's unfortunate, you know what I mean? But if you're a dope chick, and you dated someone, a lot of guys do. Well, it happens. They'll like meet another girl, and then they'll be like, "Oh, my last girl, she did this, and she was dope. She was a writer. She did this. She had a YouTube channel." And they'll intentionally make the other woman jealous of you, and then the other woman would feel like, "Okay, I gotta be just like her. I gotta act like her. I gotta do this." It's unfortunate, but it happens. You know.
Isn't imitation the most sincere form of flattery?
It's not.
No,
Drake said.
No, I feel like I think kind of a little weird, but I feel like someone who does too many things just like me wants to kill me. Like, and I feel like that. I feel like the universe doesn't need two of anything. I feel like if you see two of anything, it's man-made and it's not from God. So I feel like when someone does something too much, I feel like you're trying to cancel me out because you don't need two Kiki Banks. Like, you don't need two of those. You know,
just weird. Like, get your own style. You don't need to Yeah,
but this is the whole men thing. Like, not, and I'm not saying
weird.
all men. I'm not saying all men, but like immature men will do that to you. Like, to women that they feel like they can do that too. That's why it was important for me to take a step back and just work on myself, because I was radiating love me energy, and it was like, you're not loving me the way I need to be loved, but I want to be loved so bad that I'm gonna take it. Like, you know. But it's just like getting back to that point and realizing what I put out there for them to feel comfortable to do that, but also realizing that this is a sick individual. That there's something lacking in this male. And there's certain men that do that a lot.
But at the same token, though, because I do love men. Men are dope. I don't know what we would do without them on this planet,
Not the
because
narc
they're just beautiful creatures, and I love and then they're just beautiful creatures, and I just love the way they're built and they're made, and I love their backs when they're like doing this.
Such important
not
things.
Like that, but I just like the way they're made.
So important.
They're just beautiful creatures, and
important.
And I think that just as like they have men that are these types. I've met so many men. I've met so many men that are so beautiful and so dope and so spiritual and so just like if you sit down and talk to them, you'll be like, wow. You know what I mean? Like I thought you like this didn't exist. I've met so like just I guess too whatever I say whatever you're looking for is looking for you. But I've met so many men that are super disciplined. Yes. You'd be surprised. I've met so many super disciplined men, and I've met so many creative men, and I've met so many men that have been very supportive of me, like in my arts, in my shows, and whatever I'm doing. And real down to earth, loyal dudes, got wives, got girls. They don't be turning their head, they don't look at everybody. And I watch them, and it gives me hope. And I'm like, wow, this is still possible. So then when I do meet the toxic men, I'm like, nah, this is possible. This is possible. Y'all are making it bad for these ones. Right. The same way with women. You have a good woman who's God-fearing or whatever you believe in. I believe in God-fearing, and is real cool, down to earth, got a good head on her shoulders, on the right track, strong, boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? And then you have the opposite of that. And then the opposites are making those ones. So then, and it just gets all confusing because nobody knows, well, who's the good, who's the bad. But I have met so many, I have to say that. I've met so many, like, dope, creative, spiritual, driven men in my journey in the arts, and super respectful. It's very rare that like I get hit on. Like, people don't really hit on me like that or try to do stuff like that. Men really respect me in certain circles, whereas other women, it might not go that way. They're like, everybody's hitting on me. Everybody just wants this. And I'm like, well, that's your journey. My journey is I've always been very, very well respected wherever I go. You know what I mean? But no, I'm not ignorant either. Like, there is, some men that are like super toxic. But now, like, honestly, I weed that shit out quick. Yeah. Quick.
Speaking of that, collaborating, have you ever got like shady collaborations from men? Like,
oh,
is that
my
is
Lord.
that a big issue? So yeah, come to my studio.
Come to my studio, girl.
Here's some,
of course.
Here's some beats because I'm trying to beat. But no, something like that. Is that a bar? Is that a bar? No.
Nah,
That's not a bar.
I had.
The glasses came off. Did anybody notice that?
Cause I got real serious. And these are prescription, and so I could see y'all. Not because I was being a diva. I'm just blind.
It's okay to be a diva.
It's a little of both. No. Male rappers, God bless them. But oh my God. Like sometimes with you, I'll never forget this. I had this guy hit me up, goes, and I knew him through another female rapper. So it wasn't like he's a stranger. So I'm thinking, okay, this is like a genuine thing. He's like, I want you to come to the studio. I got a record I want you to do. I said, okay, bet. Because like I said, to me, you came with a referral. So I could trust this, right? I go, he gives me the address. I pull up, I said, something ain't right. Something ain't right.
Was it
But I'm
candles?
gonna go, because I'm a big tall girl. I will fight you. So it is what it is, right? You want to get beat up in your own studio, that's fine. So I go. It's his apartment. So I said, it still was like, okay, maybe. Because my engineer had, his studio was built out in his house. It was very professional setup, still had the booth, still had everything. So I'm still kind of like, we gonna give it a chance. With a studio. It's a mic in his bedroom. So I said, this is bad. Because how dare you say studio? Just say you have a mic in your bedroom. I'm not gonna judge, but just keep it real. You have a mic in your bedroom. That's not a studio.
Wait, was it a studio apartment?
No.
Because that's
No.
it's technically.
It was not. It was a 1 bedroom. Not the technicality. Like I misunderstood. No, I didn't misunderstand. It was a 1 bedroom. So I'm still just kind of like, I already wasted gas. Let me just hear the record. Plays the record. Yo, first off, it was terrible. So it doesn't even matter what it was about. It was bad. It was just bad. But also, it was very much, and I do pussy popping music. So that's not necessarily an issue. What the issue was, it was very much like, swing on this pole, bitch. I'm going to throw money on you. Now, wait a minute, sir. What do you want me to rap about? Like I'm the one that you throwing money on? I will kill you. What are you talking about? And like, these are the games that they be trying to play with us.
Get you there just to try to sleep with you? Like, what's going
I
on?
don't know, because I left.
Good.
First
sound
off,
weird.
how dare, it's like, first off, you set me up, but then you set me up with a bad song? At least if the song had been good, I would have been like, okay, maybe you still kind of could have got the verse. I wouldn't have recorded it here.
Yeah.
I would have had to write it at home and, Dropbox it to you. I ain't doing it here, bro. But on top of that, the song is bad. Like, how dare you insult me?
Yeah.
Like that. Like, and I'm not someone that likes to flex. I'm like very humble, but I feel like sometimes as women, we do have to flex and be like, sir, I am Brandi Blaze. How dare you? You know that you hit me up because I'm going to make your song hot. Because I spit harder than you. Let's just be real. You hit me up for a reason. You want a hot record. That's why you called me. Because if you could get a hot record on your own, you wouldn't have called me.
So what happened?
I left.
No, but what happened? He just had a mic in his room?
Yes.
He didn't have no equipment.
It was a mic. And like, it wasn't even a MacBook.
I'm done.
Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Come on. Come on.
Oh, God.
Not the Dell. Come on. I'm not making no music on no Dell with you, bro. Come on.
This can't go anywhere.
It's going nowhere. It's going nowhere. We might as well just record it on the phone. Like, what are you doing?
You gotta leave.
What are you doing?
Let's go to voice notes.
Right. It would have sounded better.
Because not everybody. Because some people just dope in their own head too. Like they in their
And that
room.
was definitely one of those situations.
He knew he was wrong.
But the crazy thing is, I ran into him like maybe 4 or 5 years later.
Oh, no.
And then he tried to fuck me. See? You see how that go?
Okay.
planting of the seeds.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was like, you didn't give me a chance. Sir, no, I didn't. You never had a chance. Ever. Not in this dimension, the next one, the next lifetime, 16 lifetimes from now, you never had a chance. Like, what are you doing? So it's like, yo, that's the type of things that we deal with.
Yeah.
It's like, it's one thing to be like, we get a record, I don't want to do the record. I always had a hard time being like, I don't want to do this record. because I don't vibe with it, not because I don't vibe with you as a person. I just don't like the song. I will always just do the song anyway, even if I didn't like it. Now I'm like better about being like, I vibe with you. That ain't the song for me. Let's build something together.
It's okay to be like, I
but
don't like
sometimes it's like the audacity to be like, because you feel like I do this, that I'm gonna get on a song and let you degrade me on your song. You're wildin'. You're wildin'. I'm never gonna do that. We could do a sexual song. I don't have an issue with that. But it's the way that you present it, and it's the way that you write it, and exactly it shows me what you think of me.
Yeah, right. Like, don't
because you
insult
don't
me.
think enough of me as an artist to give me something. I tell men all the time, or I tell this to male producers too, like, give me something you would give a man.
Period.
That's the song I want. I don't want these songs, these soft, flowery, oh, we in love, oh, no, I don't want, I spit, I'm hard. That's what I do.
So now I want to know, like, okay, so I'm gonna have to ask. Which question, man? So I want to know, like, this is not having nothing to do with rhyming and MC. This is what I want to know as Cordelia. So now, what is your? Because I ask this to everybody. So now, what is your style? What is your personal style? Like, what is your personal street style? Like, I always describe my personal street style as sexy, conservative, tomboy. That's like my style. Sexy, conservative, tomboy.
Like, I'm just like I like to think of myself like kind of similar, like the sexy hood chick. When I rap or people hear me, I never really get compared to women. I always get compared to men. So I've heard that too, which like blows my mind. That like blows me. So I've heard it before. But I also get Busta Rhymes.
Okay, he's dope. Yeah.
He's dope.
And I've gotten DMX before. And I also get Rick Ross.
So you're gritty.
Yeah, I also have a deeper voice, and it's very, like, it just comes from, like, my loins. Like, it comes up and out like that. But, like, it's very aggressive. But I still feel like I'm still feminine. But I got on Tim's right now. Like, that's how, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got a low cut shirt with Tim's. Like, that's how, that's what I do.
Yeah, the tomboy, sexy, yeah. So now, what's your personal style?
Me, I think I'm exotic. I'm very feminine. I think I used to be a tomboy when I was younger, but I kind of grew out of that and more into hair, nails, skin, stuff like that. So, I mean, I'm trill. I'm from Brockton. I'm not gangster. Like, I don't like to fight. I've gotten into fights, but it's not. I do not like conflict. Period.
Yeah.
I try to be as peaceful as possible because I don't trust my angry side. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't want you to bring that character out of me.
That's true. Yeah.
That's not me.
Yeah.
Don't even try it. And I'm the type of person who kills people with kindness.
Right.
I try to play stupid. Men are always going to try. That's why, like, my significant other people want to protect you from the industry. Like, they're gonna try you. But I like to play dumb and then get out of there, or be directly like, yo, I'm not available, or I'm not comfortable, or whatever the situation is. But my style is just exotic. I'm Shellz.
Okay.
Haitian.
So now, what's your style, sir?
Oh, my style, even though I'm not a female
No,
MC.
you can still. What's the style?
I say, my style is like just, I say like 90s Afrocentric. You know, like I'm a snapper. I'm a snapper, two-stepper. Like I produce as well, so like it's about like music that I listen to as well. Because I listen to bossa nova, I listen to compa, Afro beats. You know, because like I'm Nigerian, so like my parents, like they listen to different music, like old retro music or R&B. So like that all made me to who I am now.
So what's your favorite R&B song? Sorry.
R&B song? Oh man, I love Erykah Badu. Another Lifetime, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, because I feel like that's a Pisces anthem. Because like literally, I have that feeling like sometimes like I met somebody, and like whatever history that we had, it's like it happened, and we're in different paths. You know, whether I'm in a relationship or they're in a relationship, like maybe in another lifetime we can get together. Maybe in another lifetime we can talk. But right now, like I'm good.
You know?
You know what I mean?
So now, Chinks, what is your personal street style? Like, what's your style?
Ooh, I wasn't ready for none of this. Okay. My style, I kind of have like a tomboy vintage
Okay.
style. I'm an entrepreneur. I honestly I rap for fun. Like I do like I have little diss tracks and like I like write songs sometimes, but like I'm not like no artist for real. But
Everybody's
I think
an
like
artist.
my
Everybody's an
I think my I get my talent from like if I'm lit enough, I can freestyle some shit, low key. But I can write some shit too. But I think that's just inherited. Like honestly, sorry. My dad's from Roxbury, and he did the beatboxing, rapping, and did break dancing back in the day type thing. I don't know. Maybe I get that from him. I don't know. But like honestly, I just be going with the flow. Like I can sing a little. I can rap. I can do like a little easy flow. I can be hardcore. Like it just all depends on the mood and how I feel
Okay.
and what it's about.
All right.
It's all different.
I hear you. So now, what is your personal street
Kiki
style?
Banks.
So are we talking about like aesthetically
Yeah,
or musically?
aesthetic. We can do both, aesthetic and music.
It depends who I am that day. I feel like it's Kiki Banks. She's like more like urban, more like on the Nicki Cardi side. She's the girl, extra sexy. She's the wigs, the lashes, the heels. That's who she is. Then there's K2. She's the around the way girl. She didn't seen a shooting. She not talking about the shooting, but she know about the shooting. Like, and that's where she is, like that type of music. And her style reflects that, where she was the girl with the Jabot jeans. Like, I remember being one of the only girls in school with like 4 or 5 pairs of Jabot jeans. Everything the boys had, I wanted. Boys had girls, I want girls. Like, that's K2. And then there's Kiana, and this is Kiana. Pretty much Afrocentric. You'll see me chilling in Roxbury. You'll see me chilling in Grove Hall at Back to the Roots.
Shout out back to the roots.
So like stuff like that, where I'm just like laid back and chill. For the most part, this is me.
Yeah.
Very Afrocentric, very cultured, Cuban, Jamaican, Black. So like that's pretty much my style. When I'm Kiki Banks, then I'm Kiki Banks, and that's more for the for the raw or whatever.
I hear you.
But yeah, just a little bit of everything, and I feel like my music reflects that too. Okay. When I'm in K2 mode, I'm in K2 mode, where you get something raw and gritty. When I'm in Kiana mode, you'll get something from a mother's perspective, or a single mother's perspective, or a relationship perspective. Or you might get something Afrocentric, where I'm just bigging up queens. Then it's just a little bit of everything. Yeah.
All right. So on that note, we're gonna take a little break. You guys ready to take a break? I think we should. All right. So we're gonna take a little break and we'll be back. And we're back.
Feeling good, feeling great.
All right. So now I'm gonna get into some fun stuff because I'm not really wanting to be all talking about it's Friday. So I'm like, what's up? But anyway, so I want to have have any of you been watching the new season of Atlanta?
I've never seen one
I
episode
saw
of Atlanta.
one of the new ones.
I need to find out what the hell's going on with
It's a parallel universe.
No, you think it's a parallel?
That's what they say. They said that's Donald Glover's parallel. They say Atlanta is a parallel universe. Supposedly.
What's going on, Donald Glover? No, I really need to find out what's happening because Atlanta's really taking me like on a ride. Have you been watching Atlanta? You said you haven't watched
Can you brief me on what the show is?
You know who Childish Gambino is?
I know Childish Gambino. Yeah.
He's also known as Donald Glover,
the comedian. Yeah.
Yes. So
he's a comedian as well. Yeah.
And artist.
He's a hip hop artist as well. Yeah.
His show's, I guess, supposed to be about his life, but then the seasons change. But every episode is like different. It's kind of like Black Mirror. I don't know if you.
Oh, I love Black Mirror. Yeah.
But
like,
in reality, it's still reality.
Black Mirror, but in Georgia.
It's not Black Mirror. No, you have to.
I think he touches a lot on racism.
He touches
a lot
on
yeah,
like different subjects, like but
scenarios.
basically what's going on. He's
Paperboy.
He's Paperboy. His cousin's a rapper, and he's his manager. And it but you have to watch it like in order to really understand what's going on.
The first 3 seasons, that's the main plot. I feel like the new season's not about Paperboy like that.
I think this season.
Well, Paperboy's rich now,
right?
Yeah,
but that's what we're at with that. But if you haven't seen Atlanta, you got to start getting into Atlanta. But all right, so you're into Atlanta. But all right. So now, what was your first concert like? What was your first actual hip hop concert or concert ever?
First concert was New Edition.
Okay.
Just like a black Bostonian. You know, we are contractually obligated. No, I don't even want to say that because I genuinely love New Edition. But you know how black people from Boston get about New Edition.
Yeah.
My aunt went to school with Ronnie, and I have never heard the end of it. Like, this is before I was born. I'm like, okay, yes, yay. But it was a New Edition. The Home Again tour. It was in Worcester.
Wow.
And this is, I think that's the tour where it was the reunion tour in the 90s, and then the tour ended up falling apart.
Because someone got shot. Yeah,
like, they were fighting, and it was all crazy. Yeah, so not that many people got to see it. I believe Worcester was the first stop, if I'm not mistaken. Then it was supposed to end in Boston. So that was the first concert I ever went to. First rap concert, Puff Daddy, No Way Out.
Yeah, you told us. So now, what was your first concert?
My first concert was ran by my church. It was very religious. That's like my first experience, like being at a big concert, watching one person like on the stage perform, and it was like Haitian l'Evangile music. That's what they call it. It's of the church. But my first like outside concert, I went to Rock the Bells when I was like 16. With my friends, and I saw Lauryn Hill, I saw Wu-Tang, I saw KRS-One.
Shout out to Wu-Tang.
I saw Snoop Dogg, I saw I think Slick Rick was there too. No, was Dougie Fresh? I don't know, one of them. I don't know, but I saw a whole bunch of artists, and I've never. My parents, you know, they're immigrants, so that's not their culture, so they never exposed me to that. But my friend from Chelsea and my cousin, we all bought our tickets. It was like $200, which is a lot of money for a teenager, and we bought the tickets, took the bus to New York, then took the what is it called? The it's not the trolley, it's the
train?
The water taxi thing that brings the ferry. To Governor's Island. And I saw Rocks the Bells, and I saw a whole bunch of Wiz Khalifa was there, and he was like on the small stage. Yes, he was just a regular like new artist, but that was my big exposure to the culture, to hip hop, and just seeing people that I never thought I'd ever see.
Okay.
I cried at Lauren. Sorry, I did.
I never grew up on going to concerts at all. We weren't allowed to watch BET. We weren't allowed to watch MTV. We weren't allowed to watch a lot of stuff growing up. So my actual first concert was when I worked at Butterfly Cafe in Roxbury Crossing. Excuse me. Whose water is this? May I?
Yes, it's not open. Do it. No, it's not open. Do your thing.
Yeah. But I had a coworker there. I don't even remember his name. But he used to always come in talking about rap, and we would get into like arguments. He was like much younger than me, and he just was like this, that, and the third. And one day you'll see. So he's like, "Oh, I got tickets. I'm gonna bring you to a concert." And we went to like Paradise in Brighton, and it was Currency, and it was nice. But I didn't know who Currency was.
Right.
Like, I remembered hearing him on, like, a Lil Wayne song before, but I didn't know. That was, like, my first time really, like, seeing who Currency was. And it was a nice experience. I'm not really big on concerts, though. And even Wiz, that was my last concert. I went to see Wiz and Currency again. And I wanted to go home, like, in between it. Like, I'm not really big on, I don't know if it's me and my personality with crowds.
Yeah. Sometimes,
like,
sometimes it's too much. Like, sometimes crowds can be a lot.
Especially post-COVID.
Yeah. I mean, my first concert, it wasn't even really like a concert. It was, I was in middle school, and, yeah, Mom, you gave me way too much freedom. My mother gave me way too much freedom. I'm kind of glad she did, but now that I think back, I'm like, I was doing the most. I was doing the most. My first concert was Bobby Brown. It was at Madison Park High School. Bobby Brown and Houdini were performing an outdoor concert at Madison Park in the field, in the football field, and we were coming from school, and my friend, I'm not gonna say her name, she was like, Kajulia, we need to go down there. We need to go. And I was like, yeah, we should go. And we went down to Madison Park High School, and Bobby Brown was there, and they were on the bleachers. It was a free outdoor concert. I'll never forget that. That was my first concert.
That sounds
but,
so dope.
But I got a story. The first, I want to say hip-hop artist I met, and this is a true story. WILD used to be on Warren Street, and I used to always have the radio in my bedroom. I was always listening to music, and I was always listening to WILD. Oh my God! Yeah. Whoever doesn't know, WILD was a black-owned radio
WILD.
station in Boston. They played black music. It was a black station. It was like the shit. And I was listening, and so Heavy D was at the station. And I was like, I'm going to go up there. Mind you, I'm like 9 years old, maybe at the time. And I'm in my room. I'm like, I'm going to go up there. To my, and I remember I had this little pink jacket. I always tell this, I had this pink jacket and had like a butterfly on it. And the Wheatley Middle School, all y'all Roxbury people will you Roxbury people will understand this story. There was where I lived on Greenville Street. Grew up right here on Greenville Street. Okay. And so, yeah, I'm really hood. So Greenville Street, there was a fence, and there was a hole in the fence, so I could go through this little walkway, do this little walkway and go through the hole and be in the Phyllis Wheatley schoolyard. So I put my little pink jacket on. I left the house. Again, Mom, you gave me too much freedom. And I went I went through the schoolyard, and WILD was like right there. And so I walked in the station because I knew the Heavy D and the boys were up there. I walked in the station, and I'm walking up the stairs because you could literally see inside and see the DJs, and you could do the glass and so Coach Willie May, Stephen Hill, all of them used to be up there. Pebbles, shout out to Pebbles. And so I'm walking up the stairs, and Heavy D comes walking downstairs. And it was just me and him. And I was like, and I froze. I was like, and he was like, hi. And I was like, hi. He said, it's okay. He said, you can say hi. It's okay. And I looked up, and I said, hi. And I was a little girl. I was like 9. I was like, hi. And he said, okay, nice to meet you. I said, yeah, you too. And I was just like, oh my God, in my head. I was like, that's Heavy D. And that was my first time I ever, and fast forward, and I'm going to not go long on because I'm a storyteller. Long story short, I met Pete Rock in the Bronx at the fish market, and I told him that story because, it's his cousin. Wow. And I told him that story, and he was like, wow, that's dope. I was like, yeah, I met him. He was like, yeah, that's my cousin. I was like, yeah, I know, but yeah, that's my story.
Nice. That's actually super cute.
That's crazy.
So now, what was your first concert, sir?
Honestly, I can't remember. I think the last concert I've been to, though, was for Marco Marcel. He's a bass player in Boston.
I love Marco Marcel.
We love him. He was performing with Miranda Ray at Boston Calling. I just did some filming for him.
That's dope.
So,
Nice.
Okay. It was nice. It was a nice event. That was the first time going.
Yeah, the last person I saw was Sean Paul.
Sean Paul.
At the House of
Nico
Blues.
Salen.
Oh my gosh, he's amazing. He has hits on hits. Even the songs I didn't like, I was like, yeah, it was lit.
Can I ask you, what's your guys' favorite female collaborations, both in Boston and both wherever?
That's such a good question.
There's a song, I forget the name of it, but it's Eva Davenport in Red Shades. Yeah, and I like that song a whole bunch. Just the vibe of it, I liked it. There's a lot of collabs though that are really good, like the one you were just playing.
Yeah.
Brandi Blaze, Cake Swag. I love that one. Dutch Rebel, Shellz. They have a collaboration that's really good.
What's the name of that song?
Chop.
So
Produced by Jay Carter. What about outside of Boston?
outside of Boston, best female collaboration. Don't give me the line. I'm gonna have to sit on this one for a little bit.
Can I go? I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna go. It's not really hip hop. It's more like a pop collaboration. I'm gonna go Eve and Gwen Stefani.
That was a good one.
Blow Your Mind. Yeah. Love Is Blind with Eve and Faith.
Yeah. I was so young singing that song, thinking I knew.
So are we gonna do like a MC and like a R&B
We can do
artist?
that. Yeah.
I did just think of 2 rap ones that came to mind. That Bia and Nicki Minaj went off a little bit. Like I will say that. But yeah, I think if we put an R&B artist on it, that broadens the spectrum a little bit.
Yeah. I like those kind of collaborations.
I would say right now, I really love Ari Lennox's new album is just insane. Like, so the song with her and Chloe, oh my God, just does something for my spirit. And then also, I really love Megan Thee Stallion and Beyonce together.
Okay.
Like, I want more. Like, I love rapping Beyonce. When Beyonce raps, I just get my whole life. I'm like, rap more. Do more of that. Here in the city, it's just like so many. Like, so many. Like, one thing that I think is really beautiful about female rap in Boston is how many of us have worked together or how many of us have it in the process. Like, there's collabs that's gonna be coming. I know I want to work with both of them like so bad. Like, right? No, and it's gonna happen because I'm putting it into the universe. I'm putting it into the universe.
Right there. It's gonna happen.
But I would say for me, probably I really, really love Oompa and Red Shade's song together from Bahamas to Atlanta, or Atlanta to.
Is that what it's called?
I probably mixed up the towns. I think it's from Atlanta to Bahamas. Off Red's last album. Like, just something about the two of them, to me, they're like two of the greatest to ever come out of Boston, no matter the gender. Just period. And like getting to hear them together, like, what an experience.
My first time hearing Oompa, I cried. I had Destiny had put together a show, Radical Black Girl, and it was crazy. Like, the energy there was like, it was just crazy. So
Resistance?
I performed, Resistance.
Yeah, I filmed that. I filmed it.
So do you remember me? We opened the show. It was me and Destiny. Destiny did a dance. She had on all white.
Yeah.
And I was doing a poem. And
I didn't realize that was you.
That was me. Okay. So many seeds were planted that night, and it was just so crazy, like good and bad. But growth, all growth. But long story short, I seen Oompa perform for the first time that night. When I say I was in tears, I was in tears. I was like, I did not come here for this. I did not come here for this. I fell in love since then. Yeah.
I mean, Oompa is just, we talked about Dutch earlier, but Oompa has been so instrumental to the scene. She's been a huge, huge part of my career. She really gave me my start in Boston. When I was starting, like, Boston did not mess with me at all. Like, I could not get booked in Boston to save my life. I really started on the North Shore and the South Shore, you know, with like the white boys and the boom bap rappers, which is crazy because I'm like, I don't do anything close to boom bap, but they liked me. I liked them, you know what I'm saying? But is like, was so instrumental to my career. And like you said, like, when you see her perform, it's like an experience. Like, and like, shout out to DJ Ysham. Oomp had a show, and I was just at her show, and it was just like you said, it was like an experience. Like, I cried, we danced, and I said to myself, I said, how do I get to that? How do I get a stage performance like that? And I knew that I was missing a piece, and that was actually the night I asked Ysham to DJ for me. And then ever since then, it was Brandi Blaze and DJ Ysham, like, because she, like, completed me. Like, those are the things, like, does. Like, she just inspires you. She just makes you want to be better. Like, when we did Cleo and them, I was so intimidated to do the song with her. I love her dearly, but I was intimidated, like, scared, because I was like, she gonna out-rap me.
Oh, goddamn.
She gonna out-rap me. And I had to go in there, and I was just like, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. It's gonna be all right. Like, I was like, I had to, like, hype myself up. And then, like, something crazy happened on the way into the studio to record. Cleo and them. I thought I was gonna go to jail. Like, crazy thing happened, and then I went in there and she was like, she literally just pushed me in the booth and was like,
Oh hell yeah.
go. And I was just like, what's the procedure when you got, and just like went crazy. But like, that's her. Like, she just forces you to be better and to be greater. Like, it's the friendliest competition. Like, the friendliest competition there could be, because it's like, you're the gold standard. Like, I'm just trying to like.
No, Oompa is real. She done texted me like, I see you. I see what you're doing.
She never remembers me.
And it's like, she remembers you too?
She never remembers me.
Oh, she never remembers.
I was like, all right.
But no, she be like, hey, I see you. And I see what you're doing. Keep it going. I'm like, thank you. You know what it's me.
Oh, yeah,
yeah. But my favorite collaboration out of the city, I think, is We Run the City with White Sham, Cake Swag, Red Shades. That's all?
No, that's K Watts.
K Watts.
K Watts.
K Watts is on it too. Oh, but Red Shades is not on it.
No, she's on the album. But We Run the City.
That song. I love that song, and I love the Shellz.
Yeah, she does.
And it's not like she's not like that's her personality, and you can tell. And I was like, I like her.
Yeah.
Like, I know her music, but I was like, I like her. I never. Sorry, YouTubers, but I never thumbs up videos. I watch. I know I'm so bad. I know it's so bad because I do YouTube.
Right.
I know it's so bad because I do YouTube myself. But like, I think this is probably like the second video I thumbs up, because I have to thumbs up something that I really like. I don't just thumbs up because thumbs up. I'm just like I gotta like you. I gotta find the content likable, and then I give you a thumbs up. But other than that, I'm not. And her episode was dope. I had the thumbs up. Give her a thumb up. But yeah, Little Mo. But so I just want to know, last question, because we have to wrap things up. Thank you, ladies, for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. And I just want to know, last question, what is inspiring you about life at this moment? It's hard as fuck. That's inspiring enough. Like, every day get up. That's motivation. If you want it to be less hard, you gotta work hard.